And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. What we're going to talk about today is getting rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want. All of us have goals. If we don't have goals, we must have goals. Like, you cannot live your life without setting and achieving goals. Because if you do that, if you just let your life pass you by without setting massive, huge, gigantic goals, then you will allow yourself to be who you are right now. Who you are right now sucks compared to the person that you could be if you set massive, gigantic goals. The person who achieves those massive, gigantic goals that you have it in there. It's in your head. You know you could do things if you actually put your mind to it. You know you could do things if circumstances were different. You know you could do things if you just figured out how to solve the problems that need to be taken care of. But right now, you're stuck with your little thinking very often about yourself, about your problem, about this and that and the other, and you never look up from the situation. You're just like this, thinking about your small petty goals. And I'm like, I need to go to do my work. I need to not be late for work today. And I need to make sure I go shopping because my wife... What? Like, come on! You must get into the mindset that there is something massive out there for you. Once you understand that there is something massive, you will start looking at your present differently. You'll start looking at your present as an opportunity to progress towards the massive. Does that make sense? But you don't have any space for the massive. Your life right now is so complex. It's so filled with a bunch of commitments. It's so filled with a bunch of people who all have their own agenda. And like, just life is hard for people. But it doesn't have to be. That's a choice that you make every single day, that my life is hard. My life is hard. And my life is so hard. But that's a decision you make. No one tells you that life is hard, even though, that's what you hear all the time. It's like, it's a choice for you to actually tell yourself that life is hard. It's your choice to accept what the world is telling you. But what I'm saying is that what you're telling yourself is the key, and you are telling yourself right now that life is hard. Oh, it's so hard to stop masturbating and watching porn. It's so hard to go to work every day. It's so hard to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's not hard. What is hard is staying in that thinking. And the only reason why you're staying in that thinking is because you're not looking up at the possibilities that could happen for you. You don't have room for what you want. There's no space. Your cup is full. Like, your goals will not be attracted to you. You're not able to seduce your goals to come to you because your cup is full. You've learned enough. There's nothing more to learn. I just gotta solve my problems the way, with what I understand. No! Think about all the people that have actually succeeded, that actually are living the life that you're living, and tap into their heads, tap into their mindsets. You are so blessed for living in the 21st century when we've got YouTube. When we've got access to information. It's the information age. Anyone can succeed. And the reason why they succeed is because they can tap into the information that is already there. It's there, people. That's why, like, to see someone be depressed and demotivated and not really understand that ambition is awesome. You gotta think big. Because if you think big, you become great. You become big. Because suddenly now you're attracted to the greats. You're attracted to the people who have made it, who are living the life that you want. Now you start investigating their thinking. You know, the thinking that they had many years ago when they struggled? It's the same thinking that you are having right now. The only reason why they managed to get their goals is because they changed their thinking. They're thinking way differently now that they're successful, compared to how they thought many, many years ago when they weren't successful. Does that make sense? They brainwashed themselves to success. Brainwashing is a fantastic thing. And all of our brains need to be washed. Even the greats. Even the greats know that they have capacity to do even greater things. So they're washing their brains continuously, all the time. How often are you washing your brain? Now, let me tell you a story about how I've experienced this. Because I've been around personal development for a while. And continuously, I've been hearing, in the past I was hearing them say, you need to change your thinking. If you're going to elevate your performance, you got to change your thinking. If you want to achieve your goals, you got to change your thinking. I'm changing my thinking all the time. Nothing's happening. Why am I not succeeding yet? Because I wasn't understanding, how do I change my thinking? Are you wondering the same thing? How do you change your thinking? I'm willing. I'm all ears. I'm willing to change. And yet, we don't change. What's happening there? How do we wash our brains? Input creates output. We know what will come out of your body when you put something into your body. They can see that, okay, if they do some research. And it's the same thing. That's engineering, guys. It's science. You put something in, you will get an output. There will be a result if you put in those ingredients. So, and there's 3 ingredients that we need in order to achieve our massive goals. We need to have the correct thinking. And obviously, if you haven't achieved your goal yet, your thinking is not the way it needs to be. So there needs to be change. Right now, you've got stinking thinking. And it won't take you to your goals. That stinking thinking needs to change. We've got our emotions that needs to change. Because if we're emotional up and down, up and down, up and down, we can't make consistent progress towards our goals. And the third one, was it? The habits. Habits come from repetitive action. Repetitive action comes from emotional stability. Emotional stability comes from your thoughts. Exactly. Change your thinking, you change your emotions, or at least become stable with your emotions. And then you will put in the correct habits that will fortify over time. Like if you take one pen, it's easy to break. But if I take 5 or 10 pens, it's going to be really difficult. That's the power of habits. And you can use that in your life for your benefit and to achieve your goals. But first, we got to get rid of what we don't want in order to make room for the correct thinking, the stable emotions, and the correct habits. How do we get rid of it? What is it that I need to get rid of? You. You've got to get rid of who you are, what you're doing right now. Most probably what you're doing right now will never take you to your goal. Ever. So you've got to understand, is my thinking going to take me to my goal? Are my emotions taking me to my goal? Are my habits taking me to my goal? Most probably, they're not. You've got to change. And aren't we grateful that we got YouTube, but we also got this channel, the Men of High Value channel, that focus on goals every single day. Today I didn't speak about semen retention, but semen retention is key to this process, because when we don't practice semen retention, it affects our thinking. We get into a depressed mode. We get into my self-confidence levels, they're dropping every single time I masturbate and I can't control myself. I can't control myself. It affects your thinking. Once you actually learn, I can control myself. I actually am controlling myself. You are changing your thinking. You are actually brainwashing yourself, and you're not putting bad input from porn and all that negativity into your head. It's not going in there anymore, and you start having room for putting in the right information in there. Suddenly the correct information now is penetrating your brain so much that it starts influencing your thinking. And now that you're also practicing semen retention, you can control yourself, and you're getting the positive input from people who are successful, who have the life that you have, which the people 200 years ago would never have access to, but you do because of technological advances. Awesome. Anyone can succeed in the world today. Anyone can get rich in today's world because the information is there. The only problem is your thinking, your emotional instability. Because of that, you're not able to put in the correct habits that are needed to achieve your goal. Everything is there for the taking. Everything. You are the only one that can stop yourself. This is powerful stuff. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you can change your thinking. And I'm willing to help you to achieve that if you will allow me to. I'm right there. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I will see you again tomorrow.